5 years ago, on New York Fashion Week, Brisbane teenager Madeline Stewart graces the walkway and amazes critics. Madeline, at the age of 15, expressed her interest of wanting to become a model to her mother. Today, this renowned icon of the fashion model industry sees no barrier and continues to do what she loves, modeling. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you may already know, today's topic has to do with intellectual disabilities. Otherwise known as ID, intellectual disability is a term commonly used to describe people who experience cognitive impairments. Many disorders, particularly communication disorders, cerebral palsy, and certain genetically transmitted disorders, can co-occur with ID. People who are intellectually disabled are also characterized to possess an IQ score lower than 70. These people face difficulties in carrying out their daily activities. However, the greatest difficulty the intellectually disabled can face are performing tasks that involve intellectual functioning. The American Psychiatric Association stresses that people with such disability often lag behind in areas that require reasoning, problem solving, planning, abstract thinking, judgment, academic learning, and learning from experience. However, as shown by Madeline and many other people, people with ID can live meaningful lives and even take on interesting careers. Jamie Brewer, an aspiring actress, and Pablo Pineda, an educator, are prime examples that many people with intellectual disabilities can thrive in many settings. Unlike the beliefs of many, the secret behind helping people with ID succeed is none other than support systems from various sources. Technique 1. Prelinguistic Millio teaching. In this current day and age, where inclusive education is often emphasized, educators want everyone to get the most out of their learning journey. To do so, teachers and pedagogues often look at the defining characteristics that make people with a special ability, special. In the case of ID, one common trait is delayed speech development. One indicator for this can be detected during early childhood. Canonical babbling, a repetition of well-formed syllables, is often produced in infants around the age of 4 to 10 months. Just like some members of the animal kingdom, communication is essential in our daily lives. For example, young songbirds don't have a song, and therefore they learn and imitate the songs of other adult songbirds to find their own voice. During this stage, inexperienced songbirds often produce immature songs, just like how human babies babble. Take a look at this example. Now back to humans. People with ID often struggle at this and see a late onset of syllable forming. So, what can we do to counter this? Well, early childhood specialists utilize a technique known as Prelinguistic Millio teaching, PMT. Basically, PMT is an intensive effort educators and childcare specialists use to facilitate prelinguistic skills in young toddlers. Prelinguistic skills are the very fundamental skills we use before we even learn to speak. Prelinguistic skills involve behavior regulation, social interaction, and joint attention. These words sound complex, but basically, What they mean is the ability to request, greet, and comment without speaking. Many babies learn to do that as they develop, but infants with ID need a little help. To carry out PMT, specialists bring the young toddlers diagnosed with ID to a small playroom with attractive toys. As they play with the young toddlers, specialists pay attention to how the baby communicates prelinguistically. Sometimes, they may store toys in hard-to-reach places so that the baby may request for toys. Other times, the specialists babble with the child so that the child becomes familiar with babbling. This can happen once a week or more, but the point of this technique is to stop children with ID from falling behind communicatively during early childhood. Technique 2. Video self-modeling. As a child grows older and progresses into kindergarten, an essential skill they need to learn is self-reviewing. Children need to look at their own performance and self-review as they learn. The same goes to children with ID. As more students with ID step into inclusive classrooms, teachers have thought of increasingly creative ways to teach them functioning skills. An effective strategy some teachers have used to teach these children self-review skills is the Video Self-Modeling Technique, VSM. Video self-modeling relies on the observational learning, and pedagogues support its use for people possessing intellectual disability traits. Beyond self-reviewing, observational skills are also assessed when conducting VSM. To carry out VSM, a teacher must first identify a core skill they want the child to master. There is evidence to support that VSM works particularly well in enhancing ID children's functional skills. Therefore, a teacher can use VSM to teach a student ways to request a friend to play, or to perform a friendly introduction. The teacher will film the student doing said task and will then edit the footage into a seamless video that depicts the student of doing the task perfectly.
Hi, Millio.
Hi, Ollie.
Dude.
Can I play a game with you?
Yeah?
Yes.
I need to get ready to move to my next class. First, I need to turn in my classwork into the bin. Next, I need to write my homework assignment in my agenda. So that I have to pack up my binder and my backpack with all the things I need. Lastly, I have to check for my personal belongings like my water bottle and my jacket. Now I'm ready to move to my next class.
The teacher will then review this video with the student together. It is crucial for the student to watch the video regularly so that they eventually master the skill independently. Technique 3. Serious games. In special education, teachers often utilize assistive technology whenever they encounter students with ID. To help the students with their cognitive processes, these teachers will often employ the use of word enlarger softwares, memory and visual aids, or even things as simple as pencil grips for students to write better. The truth is that well-funded classrooms and schools for the mentally impaired usually do contain the capacity to help people with ID. But what about learning facilities designed for the typical population? And that is why many innovators have offered the integration of video games in the classroom. As these video games are often selected for reasons beyond pure entertainment, they are often called serious games. The benefits of educational digital games have been well established. A recent study has also demonstrated that the advantages extend to the mentally impaired. Firstly, serious games are stimulating and engaging from a sensory perspective. They often attract children and facilitate motivation to learn. However, designing games for educational purposes can be challenging, particularly for audiences who are intellectually impaired. Certainly, success stories for serious games are not sparse. For instance, the Oregon Trail of 1977 was used by elementary school history teachers to teach students about the pioneer life in the 1900s. Another game that is commonly used in education is Minecraft EDU, a sandbox game that can allow teachers to teach students about ecology, physics, and arts. Educational games designed specifically for children with ID or younger children are simpler and teach more functional skills. Brush Monster, for example, utilizes augmented reality mechanics to promote dental hygiene to children and reinforce teeth brushing as a routine. Another approach to serious games that is more customizable is EduCandy, a program that allows teachers to create quizzes, puzzles, and memory games to suit the needs of their students. In conclusion, we've reviewed some of the methods teachers and pedagogues can utilize to aid people with ID. Many of these techniques are helpful to typical and special children. For many millennia, people with ID have been subjected to detrimental stigma which has predetermined their ability. But with the advancement of technology and research, we can hope to see more young girls and boys with intellectual disabilities showcase their full potential. Thank you for watching.